We just don't have as much money to hire police and code enforcement and Parks and Rec and Public Works and everybody else that has to run the city.
We have about a $3 million structural budget deficit we're projecting that we're going to need to fix.
And so we have to get revenue somewhere. I guess the reason we're picking on the apartments is because they're making a lot of money. So our recommendation for multifamily attached units, whether they're apartments or condos or co-ops, regardless of their size, we'd recommend $150 per unit tax.
This is extremely excessive. It's going to cause quite a financial burden on many landlords.
And for single-family dwelling detached units that are rented, we're recommending $250 per unit.
We do not see the clear nexus between the fee that is being proposed
2,000% higher than any other business in the city,
and the services that will be received. And there's no guarantees as to how this money would be spent if approved by the voters.
This would be about $20,000 to the owner of 85 units. And $20,000 represents like half a seal coat job on the parking lot. Maybe two roofs on a roof on an eightplex, or two roofs on two eightplexes. Those kinds of things that we budget for the entire year. This will mean that the maintenance of these projects are going to be less.
What's happening here in Antioch, they're going to be making nothing but money in the coming years. So I'm not really worried about whether they're going to be able to afford to mow the lawn for 1% of their gross revenues.
What this tax would mean for us is about $45,000 a year, whereas previously we were paying about $1,700 a year.
Everybody's talking about how much they're paying, but nobody's talking about how much they're making.
We would argue that the proposed tax that is before you is unconstitutional.
I understand that nobody likes their ox to be gored.
Affordable and attainable housing is a top priority. This proposal runs contrary to that notion and in fact makes housing more expensive.
For the property that I manage, it's going to cost $20,400 a year.
They're making plenty of money, but they're crying and telling you how much money they're going to lose.
If this cost goes forward, it gets levied to the people who we're trying to serve. You're going to run a lot of people out of this town.
Whether his costs go up 2% or whether his costs go up 5% or whether his costs go up 20%, he's going to raise the rent as much as the market will bear.
I look at this information about taxes. I've been looking at this in my spare time. I've been looking at it, revisiting for a whole year. I believe it's the right thing to do. I think we need to put it before the voters.
Reopen the dialogue. We can have a dialogue and try to find a compromise that makes sense, a compromise that helps the city achieve some of the money it's looking for to provide those quality services.
If you can't get your way, you just delay. Well, we just still want to talk. Well, what they want you to do is not get it on the ballot. It's not to say that there aren't other areas we could look, but this is where we did look.
You know, the fix is in. The rental property owners are the scapegoat here.
Let's just make this happen. Let's just go ahead and make this motion.
4 affirmative votes, 1 absence. The motion passes. Okay. You guys need a break?
Thank you.
All righty. Good job, guys.